Wow. It's like a distinct stallion standing on top of that ridge behind you. Yeah. Wow. There's one. Way back there. There's one. A bait that we don't talk about a lot, Jeff, but it's one of my favorite. No, it's not a deep diver. There's one. Way back there. Come on, get out of there. Get out of the tree. There you go. Nice. Man, he was buried back there, Jeff. All right. Nice. Let me go this way with you. Avoid those troubles. All right. A bait that we don't talk about a lot, Jeff, but it's one of my favorite pre-spawn baits is the Megabass S Crank. Okay. God, fat fish, small, fat, and healthy. Kind of like you, Jeff.
Yes.
Oh, the small part.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that part.
Yeah. All right. See you later, buddy. Thank you. All right. The S Crank is a super sick square bill. It's a highly underutilized square bill. This is a tease of a color. Maybe we shouldn't show this color.
Blur it.
You might have to blur it out. This is the Bento Box #1 color, right? But despite the color, what makes an S Crank amazing is that it's built to hunt. It's built, unlike most square bills that are built to deflect, right? The S Crank is built to hunt. It's a really high buoyant square bill, so it's going to stay up in the column, but it has a built-in ability to hunt. So what that means is instead of it tracking straight like most crankbaits, this one's going to kind of fight itself back to center. It's almost built with purpose to be slightly off balance. So it has a built-in deflection already, so you don't have to bang it around wood, bang it around rocks. It's kind of a good one when you're just searching, and in pre-spawn and spawn, basically from, I would say, January through early summer, it's an unbelievable bait. It's super, super sick. And it's a great one when you're fishing, like we're on a lake today where, you know, that one came from the very back of the sticks in a couple feet of water, but in 100 feet, we're gonna be in 30 feet of water, right? So we may be on steep rocky bank, we may be up pushed into the trees. So it's a great one for all conditions because you don't have to rely on it knocking into things. So let's keep going, see if we can have some fun. Let me throw one over here though, where I lost that one. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Okay, nice little flurry.
Oh my God. Oh, my heart attack, Jeff. Come here.
Oh my God.
Holy crap. Okay, I'll take it. All right, number 2, another short, stout one. God, these fish are built like footballs, man.
How did that one eat it, huh?
Bro, that scared the shit out of me. Thank you for taking a year of my life away. Holy cow. All right. That's not normally how they eat the S Crank, Jeff, but I'll take it. There's one. Right down the lane, exactly where he should have been. Not the biggest fish, but smoked it. All right, another S Crank fish, so dirty. All right, thank you, buddy. Wow, a fish has been caught 9 million times. See ya. There's one. All right. Off the bank a little bit. That's the nice thing. Don't need it to deflect. I'll just come get it. Nice little guy. Thank you, sir. Solid. So one thing you guys will notice with the S Crank, because of the shape of the bait, it's got a real wide lip and it's a real fat, kind of funky shaped bait, right? And it's designed to be off course. When it's rolling and it's got that big hook, you will find that it's a little snaggier than a traditional square bill. Now, one thing you can do to combat that, Jeff, is you could just buy a lot of S Cranks, right? That's probably the #1 thing to do. But if you don't want to do that, what you want to do is you want to just pay attention to the load on your rod. Now, one very cool thing about this bait is it vibrates incredibly hard. It's almost the same vibrations you're going to have as like a jackhammer, right? So once you get into a groove, you know what it feels like, okay? So once you kind of know, like, okay, it's swimming, swimming, swimming. Oh, it's a little bit heavy right now. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 seconds, it's back to the surface, right? So once you start feeling that little bit of heavy, instead of just continuing to grind it through like you would in a Vogue or something else, pause it, okay? And then let it float up and over and then start bringing it back. And that'll save you. I still think you should buy a lot of S Cranks, but that'll save you from having to. There's one. Smoked it. I pulled him out of that tree. He's just got one hook. Stay, stay, stay. There she goes. Oh, the one hook was stuck in the tree when I hit it. All right. All right, thanks, dude. Crazy little guy. Oh, dude, it's so fun. All right, I'm going to break down this S Crank for you guys and tell you everything you need to know about this bad boy. All right, guys, let me break down this super cool crankbait. So this is the Megabass S Crank. Now, I'm throwing the 1.5 size today. There's 3 sizes to this. There's a 1.2, a 1.5, and a 2.0. For me, I would say 90% of the time I'm in the 1.5. It's the perfect all-around size for me. I will go down to the 1.2 if I'm fishing, I don't know, really skinny water, small finessey ponds. I just need something a little bit more finesse. I'll go to the 1.2, but that's almost never. The 2.0 is a hard thumping bait. So if you need something that really thumps hard and calls them up, the 2.0 can be a magical bait. But the 1.5 basically covers all the bases. It's big enough, yet finesse enough to basically work in all situations. Now today, I pretty much just threw the secret bento box color, but if I'm not throwing the bento box color, I'm usually throwing either a white or a red is kind of my go-to. So white would be something like a Sexy French Pearl. That's kind of my go-to color. Megabass Sexy Shad would be another great one, or a red. So, you know, one of the Red Craws, E2 Cross, something like that. Those are kind of the staples for me. Now, you will notice on these that if you guys change your hooks, if you're big into changing hooks, that your front hook is one size bigger than the back hook. So you see how this back hook is kind of positioned in a certain way back here? That's to keep that back treble off of cover, right? And it's also to help land fish because this is a big, thick bait, okay? So the design of that, where that hook is super important for this. Now again, talk to you guys about the technique on if you feel it getting heavy, like if it's loading into a tree, just pause and this thing will float back up and then you can go. But because it has such a wide swing, that hook does have a tendency to really find wood. So you just gotta be careful around wood. Now, as far as gear goes, this is always going on my Megabass Destroyer P5 Madbull. It is my go-to setup. Jeff, I'm sorry, I held it upside down. There you go. My P5 Destroyer Madbull. This is my go-to square bill rod above 1/2 ounce. So if I'm throwing a 1/2 to 1 ounce square bill, it's going on the Madbull. It's short, It's 7 foot, it casts accurate, but it's super powerful. It's got lots of parabolic bend to it. I'm throwing it on 16-pound Sunline Shooter, just straight fluoro. Steez A 7-to-1. So you could go 7-to-1 or 8-to-1. I find that the 7-to-1 for me is better for a square bill. I go back and forth. Sometimes I want the speed, but I find, especially lately, I'm having a really hard time slowing down. I think I'm just so excited to make the next cast that the slower speed kind of helps slow me down. So it makes sure that bait is staying in the zone for as long a time as possible. So, you know, next time you guys are in an area where, you know, you want to do some shallow power fishing, you know, there's tons of great square bills on the market, right? From the Lucky Craft LC to, you know, the Depths Evoke. Those are kind of some of the staples. The OSP Blitz Max, tons of good ones. But all of those baits tend to need to deflect and bang off of something to be highly effective. The S Crank's kind of the magical one that doesn't need it. So even if you are, you know, fishing from shore and having to throw out into the middle, you can utilize this square bill because it's going to have that built-in action. So try it, expand your square bill offering this spring. Enjoy. Jeff, it's been a beautiful day. I appreciate you spending time with me.